Hi, I'm Sonia, and I like to talk about manifestation from my own personal experience. And this video is coming with a warning beforehand. So you have been forewarned. I don't know what all I want to say in this video. This video may come off as a total rant. I don't know, and I really don't care. I got a comment over the weekend that has just been living in my brain. I have a lot to say on this, and I'm just going to say it. And I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it bluntly, and it comes across however the fuck it comes across. I do not care at this point. So if this video makes you think I'm a total bitch, guess what? You're right, because you're always right. And guess what? I don't care. I know that this video is going to piss a lot of people off and is going to make you guys question some shit, probably. But I want to speak on this topic, and I want to speak on it from my experience, because at this point I have enough experience to have a total opinion and belief system of my own when it comes to this topic. And that is what, as I have gotten back on YouTube recently, this is what I want my channel to be. I no longer want to talk about things just because they're popular or whatever. I did a video the other day talking about the purge and divine timing, which was literally what I woke up in the morning thinking about. I don't know where that came from, but man, was it in my brain, and it would not leave me alone, just like this won't leave me alone. So going forward, not that my channel's been very filtered, but I feel like it's about to get a whole lot more unfiltered. And buckle up, people. So there is your forewarning on what is to come in this video and of my channel. On Saturday, it is Monday as I am filming this, I posted a video. It was, I think, lesson 11, part 3 of my Learn to Manifest series course program thing that I'm putting out here on YouTube. And in that video, I was talking about living your life while you are manifesting, and that one of the things I got caught up in when I first found affirmations and affirming, and especially robotic affirming, was doing it constantly, like avoiding living my life and taking care of shit so that I could affirm. I was that person. I fucking did that. Even though you hear people say not to do it, I absolutely did it because I was so desperate for shit to change. And people kept saying the more you affirm and the faster you get it in your mind, the faster it will happen. I did not understand what that meant or how that actually works when I filtered that information that way. And that was what else I was talking about in that video, is your current belief system is going to filter everything that you hear. So you are going to take words that people say, like repetition and robotic affirming, and you are going to filter those words through the belief system that you currently hold. That does not mean that that's what those people actually mean by those words. And this comment was right in there. But before I get into that part of this comment, the other part of this comment that I want to address that is kind of an underlying thing, and isn't really related to what the person said. It's just something that I need to say. That's why I'm like, this video may get rambly and it may be a complete disaster. I may not even post it. I don't know. I just have to get this out of my head, and I might as well film it because I need content to post, right? So here we go. I decided to do Learn to Manifest. I decided to create a system based on if I could go back and teach myself how to manifest. This was also an idea that has been living in my brain for a while. And I've been thinking about for a while, like if I could have went back and taught myself how to do this stuff, how would I have done it? And the answer to that is learn to manifest. And I wanted to put it on YouTube. I didn't want to charge anybody for it. I didn't want to make it a program. I didn't want to deal with any of that shit. I just wanted to get this information out to people, knowing full well that you guys are going to filter this information however you filter it, and you're either going to use it or you're not. And that is not my fucking problem. I honestly don't care if you watch those videos. I honestly don't care if you follow it and do it the way I say to do it. That's not my problem. All I can do is share my experience. But I will tell you that if you are going to do it, the thing that is going to get it to work for you is the commitment to doing it. And if you are going to come on here and be doing it, and I will see comments from you on those videos, giving me the assumption that you're, interested in following it, and then you come on and say shit like this on these videos where you're going to start asking about shit that is nothing near what we're talking about, I don't take you seriously that you're paying attention to the information. And so if shit doesn't work for you, I I can't help you with that. I am giving you all of my information in a structured system for nothing. Do it or don't. But I am not going to coach and do that kind of shit with people anymore. If people come to me with coaching stuff, I'm going to send them to Learn to Manifest. And if you don't like that, get the fuck off my channel. I don't give a shit. This is how I want to do things. And I am going to do them the way I want to do them. Or I'm not going to do it at all. I have no problem deleting my YouTube channel and just walking away from it if that's what I want to do. I did it on TikTok. But for some reason, this is what I enjoy doing and this is what I want to do. And if I can't do it in a way that I enjoy, I won't do that. And there's proof of that. If you've been following me for a while, you guys know that I took like an entire year away from YouTube. There's some of you who saw that I turned the comments off and turned it back on. Like, you saw what happened when I started doing it in a way that wasn't working for me. Like I said, it's not about like I'm right and I know my way will work and just fucking do it. It's you want results and you are not going to commit yourself to a way of getting results, you're never going to get results. It doesn't have to be my way. I don't give a shit. That is not my problem, but I am not going to baby you and coach you on shit that I'm not talking about in the video series in the way that I'm teaching. You're coming to me thinking I have answers, so either you believe that or you don't. So this comment was talking about if you're not following Learn to Manifest, the first part that I have people do, the first 4 weeks, I can have people commit to 4 weeks of telling themselves 4 affirmations in regards to manifestation to start building the belief in manifesting, their understanding in manifesting, and that is going to work for them. That's it. That's all I talk about. I don't talk about adding anything else because if I could go back, that is all I would have done. 10 minutes, 3 times a day of working on those 3 affirmations. And at this point, I did a video and at this point, the videos for the first 4 weeks are out. So people should be if they started when I posted the first video, they would be doing 1 more week of affirming those affirmations before we're going to add on and build onto that belief system. And I never say anything about affirming for anything else because if I could go back and start over, I wouldn't have been affirming for anything else. I literally would have done 10 minutes 3 times a day of those 4 affirmations so that I could have the experience, which is what I was talking about in this video. I was talking about how the best way to understand this stuff is to experience it for yourself. And the only way to experience it for yourself is to commit yourself to doing it. And I know that if you say these affirmations to yourself 3 times a day, 10 minutes a time, and you start to become aware of your thoughts and start working on your mental diet, you will see the change in your mindset, which will then force the outside world to change. That is why I structured it the way that I did. So if you want to add other stuff into it, again, that is your prerogative, and I really don't have anything to say on that topic. The thing that got me about this comment, though, is I don't even know how to put it into words. There's just something about it that just no. No. So here's the comment. I've been robotically affirming for something pretty much all the time because I have the time to do it while living life too. I'm just going to be blunt. I don't fucking believe you. In my mind, the more I familiarize myself with it, the quicker it will come. And that's why I don't believe that you're living your life too. The more I can familiarize myself with it, the faster it will come. That's what people say, but that has not been my experience. It is not, I'm going to repeat it and 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 repeat it, and then it will come faster. It is, I will come back to it and it will come faster and it's a done deal. But in my personal experience, this is not true. The wording of this is not correct. And if you meant something different, then you did not use the words to convey what you meant correctly. Because how I read this is I really, really, really want something. So I'm spending most of my time affirming for it robotically because if I do that, it'll come faster, right? That is not going to work. That is not how this works. It is about changing you. You use the affirmations to change you. If you are still coming from this place and focusing on, well, it needs to come quicker and I'm going to justify that I am living my life. Are you? Have you once not done something that you needed to do so that you could affirm more? Because that's what I'm talking about. And if that's not what you're doing, if you are just being aware of what you're thinking throughout the day, that's different than not living your life, or that's normal in my opinion. I do this shit 24/7, but I do not robotically affirm the same fucking affirmation all day long. I used to try to do that, and it never fucking worked for me. That is my personal experience, and that is what I'm going to speak from always. I don't care how much it contradicts anybody else's bullshit. In my mind, the more I familiarize myself with it, the quicker it will come, question mark. This comment is so much of like justifying, well, I'm doing it right, right? It will happen because I'm doing it right. From what you're telling me, you're not doing it right. That whole idea of the more I familiarize my mind with it, the quicker it will come is still you having the wrong set of assumptions. You're not changing you. You're not thinking as if you have it. You are using a technique hoping that it is magical and will just like make things happen. And that is not how this works. That is why when I decided to put Learn to Manifest on here, I didn't do it that way. I didn't sit here and say obsessively tell yourself this shit because that's what makes it happen faster. That has not been my experience. Not at all. I remember it wasn't long after I found Sammy Ingram that she did the 10K affirmation video that I have no idea what all the drama on Twitter around that was. So I just remember seeing that video and going, okay, so my brain needs 10,000 repetitions of my affirmation in order for it to change my life. And I remember obsessively sitting there and thinking things, counting it 10,000 times, and being like, okay, so it should work. Why hasn't it worked? Because that's not the repetition that you need in order to get it to work, to make your mind familiar with it. Neville had it right in a sense when he's talking about feeling it real. It should start to feel real to you. If you are just repeating a sentence, this is what he's talking about, the vain affirming. I'm just going to keep telling myself this, wishing and hoping, and it'll happen faster because I'm doing this. You're not changing you. The whole point of the robotic affirmations is to quiet down the bullshit in your mind, coming back to something and just repeating it in your mind. The reason it worked for me is because that's how my brain naturally works. If I can sit here and repeat the same bullshit to myself, I can repeat whatever I want to myself, and whatever I keep coming back to will be proven to me to be true. I don't like this wording of the more I do it, the faster it comes. You either have it and it's happening, or you don't and it's not. That's it. This is, I don't have it and I'm not going to get it, but I'm going to do everything in my power to do it. And I believe now that it's the repetition of saying one affirmation to myself. But I'm not going to cut myself out of the reality, out of the experience of wanting and not having, and think as if I have what I want, coming back to that it's possible and happening for me. Until you experience that for yourself, you are going to filter it through your current belief system, and you are going to think whatever you think I mean by what you believe. In my personal experience, I have had way more success bringing myself back to whatever it is that I want. And this came from a lot of trial and error. It came from obsessively affirming about shit versus living my life and just shifting my mindset as things came up throughout the day. And this is where my system of how I like to affirm came from, which was partially from Sammy and her 10 minutes per topic idea. But the way that she did that shit didn't really work for me. I still had to find what was going to work for me. And you may have to do that for you too. All I can do is share what I would do, and the rest is up to you. The other part of this comment that I really just was flabbergasted by is I guess. YouTube gave me recommendations of comments that I could respond to this comment with, which I also don't agree with. Yes, repetition is key to familiarizing yourself with the process. Keep it up. Repetition is key, but it means coming back to, not constantly repeating the same thing to yourself. It means no longer accepting the shit you do not want as true, even though you keep experiencing it. Repeating something else the way that you are repeating the current bullshit. Using robotic affirmations is a way to do that, but it is never the affirmations that are what is making shit change, because you're viewing things differently. You can repeat affirmations as much as you fucking want. If you don't use them to change your perspective, it's not going to work. That is my personal experience. And if you want to argue with me on that, guess what? You are also right. That is your experience. I'm speaking from my experience because that's all I can speak from. That was my experience. when I thought it was repetition and just keep repeating it and keep repeating it and keep repeating it. And I was in the mindset of, oh, I just need to repeat it more. I just need to repeat it more. I just need to repeat it more. Was I thinking like the person who had what they want and that it was possible for them? No. I was being a whiny little bitch who wanted her life to change and was repeating a sentence over and over again, hoping it would do something. But I didn't change anything because I didn't understand what I was doing and how this works, which is why I'm on here making all these videos to try to help you understand. The other one, that's the idea, keep going. I don't agree with that either, for all the reasons that I said in this video. This mindset of I just need to keep doing it more and it'll come faster, question mark, right? Am I doing it right? You are not doing it correctly. The fact that you needed to ask this question means that you really need those affirmations that I gave at the beginning of Learn to Manifest. And you need to keep saying them to yourself. I can't remember even what they were because that program concept, whatever, is if I could go back and redo it, this would have been the fastest way, in my opinion, to getting me where I needed to be. I used these affirmations sporadically to get myself there eventually, which is why it was a way longer path for me than it would be for you if you just used the affirmations I told you to use. I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it was one of them. One of them was, let me see if I can find them real quick. The reason that I came up with these 4 affirmations is like if I could have started over and started with some kind of clarity and systematic way of doing this where I wasn't overwhelming myself and I was actually getting the repetition in that I needed in the way that I needed to change me and not just wish and hope that things would change, which is all stuff that I talk about in Learn to Manifest. That's why I did it that way. Hold on a second. I don't even know where I wrote those down. Anyway. Okay. I believe in manifestation. I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it. Everything is possible for me. I get everything I need and want, even if I don't know how it will happen. That comment screams to me the opposite of all of these. I don't really believe this is going to happen, but I'm going to keep telling myself in hopes that it'll work, which it's not going to because you don't tell yourself enough that it will. I know everything there is to know about manifesting and fully understand it. Clearly not, because you're asking this question in a way that is clearly you being confused. Everything is possible for me. I don't think you believe that either. I get everything I need and want, even if I don't know how. Clearly not, because you're focused on the time. You're focused on how you hope this will work. Like I said, maybe this isn't what this person meant by this comment, but that's how it reads to me. If I would have left this comment, that's knowing what I know now, that's what I see in it as incorrect. And what I would tell my past self you need to fix if you want things to change in your life. Like I said, you don't have to follow Learn to Manifest. But if you want to ask questions like this, go ask them to the person who uses verbiage like that. Because nowhere in Learn to Manifest did I say repeat it more so it comes faster. Nowhere in there did I say to robotically affirm for something pretty much all the time. What I'm teaching in there is to say these 4, at this point, those 4 affirmations 3 times a day for 10 minutes for 4 weeks. That's what I'm teaching. I explain why I'm teaching that. If you don't want to follow that, that's fine. But do not come to me asking me questions about how other people teach this shit. I'm no longer doing it. If you come to me asking questions, I'm going to send you to Learn to Manifest. And if you don't want to follow Learn to Manifest and learn from me how to manifest, that's cool. Go away. I'm not going to sit here and try and help you. I can only help the people who want to help themselves and only can help the people who resonate with me. And if that is not you, that is okay. But I'm not going to waste our time, my time, or your time trying to pretend that I'm the person who can help you. I can't do that. I do not intend to make videos out of every single comment that I get, especially almost 30-minute videos like this one. But there was just something about this comment that just did not sit right with me. And it's been floating around in my head. And I know that if I sit down and make a video about it, it'll stop in my head, it'll go away. So clearly, there's a reason that the way I can get that out of my head is to make a video that I can then post, because apparently someone else needs to see this. Apparently someone needs to hear it. I think is it the Quran? The Quran? I don't even know how you say it. I think this is where this comes from. There's a quote from somewhere that says, if you can change one person's life, you've changed the world. And that is very much how I view making videos. If one video helps one person, it was worth making it. So if this video helps one person and that's all that it ever helps, it was worth making it. And it already has helped one person. It's helped me. Get this out of my head so I can go and think about something else. I have been thinking about this comment since I read it yesterday or whenever it posted. It just doesn't sit right with me. It's not the mindset. It lacks the understanding of what you're actually doing and why you're doing it. Yes, robotic affirmations changed my life. I remember making a video. It's probably the most viewed video I have on this channel. I don't even remember what I said in that video because that was like 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, that I posted that video. They did change my life. Learning that I can just robotically tell myself something different is what eventually led me to understanding and getting my mindset under control. And in the past 2 years since I made that video, my understanding has changed a lot. And if I could go back and give myself the shortcut, Learn to Manifest is that shortcut. But that is what would have been true for me. And I am not going to come on here and tell you that I figured out the one and only key to getting this shit to work, because that's bullshit. There is a, whatever you tell yourself is true, base, the law. And past that, it is individual. I can give you my experience, and I am only going to give you my experience. I don't want to talk about things the way everybody else talks about them. That's why I don't watch anybody anymore. I'm rereading Neville because I like reading Neville. I have some other books that I haven't read in a long time that I'd like to reread, but I do not want to get sucked back into social media's version of manifestation. I don't care. And if I don't want to read anything else after Neville, then I won't. But right now I want to read Neville. And I like to make myself happy. So if that's what I want, that's what I'm going to do. So if you watch videos, I have the collection of Neville's books. So I just read one after the other when I pick that book up. So I've been reading Neville for a while, but you guys will see that when I change to reading another book, I guarantee you that my brain will talk about whatever book I'm currently reading, because that tends to be how my brain works. Whatever you focus on, you're going to get more of. So of course, whatever book I'm reading, I'm going to filter things happening around me in comparison to the book that I'm currently reading, because that's how our brains work. I don't know if I said this, but my brain just took me back to the idea that our brains need 10,000 repetitions of something to create a new neural pathway or whatever that even was. Because Sammy took that video down because she ended up regretting posting it. Like I said, I believe there was some drama around it. I don't know what happened. I just remember watching that original video and forming the assumption of, oh, I just need to repeat it 10,000 times. Because this was really early when I found Sammy. It was within a couple months of finding her. And going, oh, that's all I need to do is just get that 10,000 reps in. And doing it and it not working and not understanding why. Maybe there's something to the 10,000 repetitions. I have no idea. I've never counted it, but the power is coming back to it. And maybe it is you need to come back to it 10,000 times, but I can't speak on that because I don't count it. I live from presence awareness choice. That's how I live my life. In the present moment, I become aware of what I'm thinking and I accept or reject it. Because whatever I tell myself is true is true. And if I keep choosing shit I don't want to be true, then I can't complain about my truth because I chose it in the first place. The stuff I teach and learn to manifest is the stuff that helped me create a new belief system, a new perspective of how I view myself in the world, and gave me something to come back to that I didn't have to come up with as I was living my life and thinking random shit. I stopped trying to manifest every specific thing that I wanted because I wanted too many things in my life to change. So if you only want like one thing in your life to change, I'm probably not the coach for you, because for me, I wanted to change like literally everything. There was very few things in my life that I didn't want to change. I was very, very, very unhappy. And trying to come up with, well, I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that and I want this, and trying to do all of it and stay up top of all of it was impossible for me. But if that works for you, do you. The whole point that I really need you to understand, though, is understanding that the point is to change you, is to feel as if it's real, even though it may not feel real. Start thinking as if it is real. And the more you think as if it is real, the more you will think that it is real. You will start creating a story around whatever it is, the same way that you have a story around it right now. And this can happen without anything changing outside of you. It's a choice of how you choose to think and view the world. And for me, the idea of robotic affirmations, having a couple affirmations to come back to, is what helped me change that mindset, because I had something set to come back to. When I very first found not affirmations, manifesting, it was just flip your thoughts, think the opposite. And it's like, my mindset was too much of a disaster area to do that. It caused me so much anxiety. My way of doing things came from trial and error. And the thing that you need to do is trial and error. If you believe that, you are living your life and you need to just familiarize your brain with it more and do it more so it comes faster, do it and see what happens. If it works for you, great. If it's not working for you, why not? What do you think the problem is? Because you're right. The only person who can figure out what's right for you is you. And all I can do is share my experience and how and why I would do things. Past that, your life is your responsibility. And the only person who can find what's going to work for you is ultimately you. Just like the person who was able to figure out what was right for me was me. Thank you so much for watching. Love and light.